fifth row, Blunt opened his eyes and turned to Mrs. Jones. He looked puzzled. She shook her head briefly. Both of them were suddenly alert.
"They call themselves Force 3, Webber went on. "The name refers to the fact that the Earth is the third planet from the Sun. These people wouldn't describe themselves as terrorists. They would probably prefer you to think of them as eco-warriors, fighting to protect the Earth from the evils of pollution. Broadly speaking, they're protesting against climate change, the destruction of the rainforests, the use of nuclear power, genetic engineering, and the growth of multinational business. All very commendable, you might think. Their agenda is similar to that of Greenpeace. The difference is that these people are fanatics. They will kill anyone who gets in their way. They have already killed many times. They claim to respect the planet, but they have no respect at all for human life."
Webber clicked again, and a photograph flashed up on the screen. There was a stir in the auditorium as the audience examined it. At first, they seemed to be looking at a picture of a globe. Then they saw that it was a globe sitting on a pair of shoulders. Finally, they realized it was a man. He had a very round head, which was completely shaven, including the eyebrows. And there was a map of the world tattooed on his skin. England and France covered his left eye. Newfoundland poked out over his right. Argentina floated around one side of his neck. A gasp of revulsion spread around the room. The man was a freak.
"This is the commanding officer of Force 3, Webber explained. "As you can see, he cares about the planet so much, he's rather let it go to his head. His name, or at least the name that he goes by, is Casper. Very little is known about him. It is thought he might be French, but we don't even know for certain where he was born. Nor do we know when he acquired these tattoos. But I can tell you that Casper has been very busy in the last 6 months. He was responsible for the assassination of Marjorie Schultz, a journalist living in Berlin, in June. Her only crime was to write an article criticizing Force 3. He planned the kidnapping and murder of 2 members of the Atomic Energy Commission in Toronto. He has organized explosions in 6 countries, including Japan and New Zealand. He destroyed a car manufacturing plant in Detroit. And I have to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he enjoys his work. Whenever possible, Casper likes to press the button himself. In my view, Casper is now the most dangerous man alive, for the simple reason that he believes the whole world is with him. And, in a sense, he's right. I'm sure there are many people in this room who believe in protecting the environment. The trouble is, he would kill every single one of you if he thought it would help him achieve his aims. That is why I'm issuing this warning. Find Casper. Find Force 3 before they can do any more harm, because with every day that passes, I believe they are becoming a more serious and deadly threat."
Webber paused as he turned another page of his notes. When he began speaking again, the subject had changed. 20 minutes later, at exactly 3 o'clock, he finished. There was polite applause. Coffee and cookies were being served in the foyer after the session ended, but Webber wasn't staying. He shook hands briefly with a diplomat he knew and exchanged a few words with some journalists, then moved on. He was heading toward the auditorium exit when he found his way blocked by a man and woman. They were an unlikely pair. There was no way he could have mistaken them for husband and wife, even though they were about the same age. The woman was thin with short black hair. The man was shorter and entirely grey. There was nothing interesting about him at all.
"Alan Blunt," Webber smiled and nodded. "Mrs. Jones?"
Very few people in the world would have recognized these 2 individuals, but Webber knew them instantly.
"We enjoyed your talk, Mr. Webber,"
Blunt said, although there was little enthusiasm in his voice.
"Thank you."
"We were particularly interested in your comments concerning Force 3.
You know about them, of course."
The question was directed at Blunt, but it was Mrs. Jones who answered. "We've heard about them, certainly."